In 1974, the United States made a deal so powerful, it lets America print money, and the rest of the world pays the price. And that system is now starting to break. If it breaks, your cost of living goes up, even if your salary doesn't. No vote, no congressional approval, no press conference. Just a closed-door deal with Saudi Arabia, buried in State Department documents that stayed classified for over 40 years. That turned the US dollar into the most powerful financial weapon in modern history. That system is now unraveling. And you won't see it announced on the news. You'll see it in your grocery bill, your mortgage, your savings. You probably already are. This is the story they never taught you. And it may be the most important financial story of your lifetime. Before we go further, let me set one thing straight. This is not a dollar collapse tomorrow video. I'm not selling gold. I'm not selling fear. What I am going to show you is something far more important. In the next 20 minutes, you're going to see how the United States built a system that lets it borrow trillions and push the consequences onto the rest of the world. And more importantly, why that system is now being quietly dismantled. Not by accident. By countries that have decided they're done playing by those rules. And what happens next doesn't stay in government reports. It shows up in your paycheck, your savings, your cost of living, not in theory, in reality. Let's go back to where this started. World War II isn't even over yet. The bombs are still falling. But in a quiet resort town in New Hampshire, 44 countries are already planning the future. Because the people running the world understand something the soldiers don't. Whoever designs the financial system controls the peace. And America walks into that room with all the leverage. By 1944, the United States holds nearly 3/4 of the world's gold. Its factories are untouched. Its economy is dominant. Everyone else? Destroyed or in debt to America. So the system they build reflects that reality. Every major currency is tied to the US dollar. And the dollar is tied to gold. $35 for 1 ounce. To trade with the world, you need dollars. To get dollars, you deal with America. And just like that, without a vote, without public debate, the United States becomes something no empire in history had ever been, the world's bank. And that gave it a power no country had ever had before, the ability to spend, using global demand for its own currency. But systems like this don't break immediately. They stretch first. And what happens next is where the cracks begin. The United States is bleeding money. The Vietnam War is burning billions. Domestic programs are expanding, and the space race isn't cheap. So Washington does what powerful countries often do. It prints more dollars than it has gold to back them. And the world notices. France, under Charles de Gaulle, sees exactly what's happening. America is printing dollars and spending them globally, and everyone else is absorbing the cost. He calls it an extraordinary privilege. His finance minister goes further. An exorbitant privilege. The idea that one country can run deficits and make the rest of the world pay for it. So France does something that changes everything. They stop trusting the paper and start demanding the gold. Shiploads of dollars sent back to the United States, converted into physical gold, and they're not alone. Other countries start doing the same. The foundation of the entire system is being tested, and America's gold reserves are draining. Now the United States has a choice. Stop spending or stop honoring the promise behind the dollar. Richard Nixon chooses. August 15th, 1971. On a Sunday evening, American television programming is suddenly interrupted. The president is about to make an announcement that the rest of the world is not prepared for. He doesn't negotiate. He doesn't warn allies. He acts. The United States ends the gold standard, effective immediately. The US dollar can no longer be exchanged for gold. The promise made at Bretton Woods conference, the foundation of the entire global financial system, is gone. The world would later call it the Nixon shock. And they were right, because overnight, the most important currency on Earth is backed by nothing. No gold, no commodity, just trust. By every economic rule, this should have collapsed the dollar. It didn't, because within 3 years, the United States builds something new, something more powerful than gold. A system the entire world can't function without. Oil. The United States has a problem. The dollar is no longer backed by gold, and by every rule, it should be weakening. So instead of backing the dollar with gold, America finds something the world can't live without. Behind the scenes, Henry Kissinger begins a series of negotiations with Saudi Arabia, the most important oil producer on Earth. The details stay hidden for decades, locked in State Department documents. But the deal is simple. America offers military protection, weapons, security guarantees. In return, Saudi Arabia agrees to 2 things. Number 1, all oil will be sold in US dollars, only US dollars. Number 2, the dollars earned from that oil will be reinvested into US Treasury bonds, which means the money the world pays for oil, it flows right back into the United States. Countries buy oil. They need dollars. They send those dollars to Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia lends them back to America on repeat. This isn't just trade. It's a system. A system where the world needs dollars, and America gets them back with interest. A system so powerful, the world has to participate, even if it doesn't trust it. Saudi Arabia agrees. And then, the rest of OPEC follows. The petrodollar system is born. To understand why this changes everything, you need to understand one thing about oil. Every modern economy depends on it. Militaries, factories, transport, food supply. Without oil, nothing moves. And now, to buy oil, you first need US dollars. Think about what that creates. China needs oil? Buy dollars first. Germany? Buy dollars. Japan, India, Brazil, South Korea, every country on Earth, no matter their relationship with America, needs dollars. Not because they trust the system, because they don't have a choice. The alternative? Being locked out of the global energy market, and that changes everything. This creates constant, permanent, global demand for US dollars. And that demand gives the United States something extraordinary. The ability to borrow cheaply, to run massive deficits, to fund wars, social programs, infrastructure, and spread the cost across the rest of the world. Economists call this the exorbitant privilege. But in plain English, America isn't just the world's bank anymore. It's the world's toll booth, and everyone pays. Let's bring this down to your life. Right now, because the world needs dollars. The world is funding America. They buy US Treasury bonds. They lend the United States money. And that demand keeps interest rates lower than they should be. Lower rates mean cheaper mortgages, cheaper car loans, cheaper business loans. And it doesn't stop there. A strong dollar, propped up by global demand, makes imports cheaper than they should be. Your phone, your clothes, your electronics, even your food. For decades, this system quietly subsidized the American lifestyle. Not because it was earned, because it was engineered. And now, country by country, deal by deal, the rest of the world is starting to rewrite that system. And when that changes, everything built on it starts to move.